next panel speaker is Mr. Raman Raghu. I was introduced to him yesterday by Ganpati sir as pretty much the face of the MSME sector. He runs RG Bronze Manufacturing Company. He has been running that for close to 40 years, which manufactures sleeve bearings, metal polymer bearings. He's also the director of several other companies which are into auto parts manufacturing. But what interested me most in his CV was that he has done a diploma in criminology and forensic science. So we would request him to, with the precision of a forensic expert, to dissect the budget and tell us what is in it for the MSME sector. Over to you, Mr. Raman Raghu.
Thank you, Mr. Sudhir. And thanks for Shumaya for the opportunity, and special thanks to Ganpa. Let me start with the presentation of screen. Can I go ahead?
Yes. Okay. Yes, please.
I would like to present only the positive aspects, because as you know, the MSME sector was almost in doldrum during the last 2 years, since 2019. So let me mention only the positive aspects, and hoping that it will end up positive. Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman presented a fourth budget, which was carried over from previous year's scaling, particularly on public capital spending, reviving private investment, job creation, and focus on health, physical health. The most important point which I would like to emphasize is the announcement of extension of Emergency Credit Line Guarantee Scheme, ECLGS, till March 23, which will really help the MSME sector to a very great extent, particularly in this scenario. There are 7 points which I would like to highlight, particularly on the benefits of this scheme. A reduction in import tariff on inputs, which will really help increasing importing the products from overseas, particularly on the reduction in cost of reduction in custom duty of steel and other parts. Namely textiles, the leather, exemption of inputs such as steel scrap, even while leaving a 7% duty on finished capital goods, and the steps to some extent are in the right direction. Reduced import tariff on sectors like textiles, leather products, and handicrafts are likely to push growth and facilitate competitive global sourcing of inputs. MSME Udayam portal upgrading to provide B2B, B2G, and G2B services by the way of skilling and recruitment. The increase in budgetary allocation for MSMEs from 15,699.65 crores last year to 21,422 crore now, which is almost 26.71% increase. One of the main features of this budget, the guarantee cover for emergency credit line guarantee scheme has also been enhanced by additional 50,000 crore. The GUTI infrastructure investment will facilitate single domestic and global market connectivity. In this budget, the finance minister has allocated 98,000 crore for Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Educational Institute. This budget focuses on creating more job opportunities for youth, and Make in India will create 6 million jobs for the country, which we highly hope. And the tax incentive to startup have been extended by 1 more year, which is a most welcome one. The subsidy under faster adoption and manufacturing of hybrid and electric vehicles for fiscal 23 is projected at 2,908 crore, or more than 3.5 times of the allocation of 800 crore for this fiscal, and almost 9 times higher than that of financial year 21. The demand for electric vehicle is already growing, and the government is trying to further accelerate it. The energy efficiency and saving measures will be promoted. The government has also announced a battery swapping policy is to be brought out with interoperability standards to boost the electric vehicle ecosystem. The finance minister has announced 19,500 crore allocation in production linked incentive PLI for solar modules. The job creation has been a pricking issue in India for quite some time, particularly the last 3 years. And this situation has worsened after the outbreak of COVID-19 pandemic. In this 22 budget, the finance minister has allocated 98,000 crores for MGNREGS. The budget creating more job opportunities for you in the next 2-3 years. In order to unlock the domestic manufacturing potential across sectors such as renewable energy, heavy industry, agriculture, automotive, and textile, the PLI scheme is introduced for achieving Atmanirbhar Bharat for 14 sectors. So all these incentives are expected to collectively generate employment opportunities and boost up in the medium to long term through multiplier effect. With this, I would like to conclude, and we, as a representative from MSME sector, we really have a very big hope on this budget, but we have to wait and see.
Absolutely, wait and watch
Yes.
has to be the policy, because
Yes.
there's a lot of ground to cover given
That's
the
right.
kind of setbacks that you have seen in the past 3 to 4 years. Thank you very much, Mr. Raghu, for
Thank
your
you.
presentation.